Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about one of the, if not the biggest change that I think GG ever made in Path of Exile 1. And that is that socket colors have been removed, not completely, but you can now socket any gem into any socket. They start as white color. Now this is monumental. I don't know if we've ever seen a system-wide change like this before. They talked a while ago about changing dexterity, which has never really happened. But now we have something that is a little bit closer to the Path of Exile 2 system, where there's also no colors. But in PoE 1, they added some extra spice to it, which I like. This is the single best new player change they've ever made, like, easily. The fact that people in campaign used to hunt for items so they can link their skills was very stifling for some people, and not being able to change their gear, oh man, like, just the fact that you now can find a helmet and you can actually change it. Now, you still have to think about links, of course, but that is overall way easier than having links on top of colors. Overall, this will be a big power creep for campaign, and on average, your characters are going to be a lot stronger while leveling, especially if you're somebody who is not good at managing their items. Now, besides just being able to find new gear in the campaign now, even in endgame, let's be real, changing it every single time, having to adjust your colors every single time, it was a nuisance. And it also increases build diversity in early to mid game, because you now have skills that, for example, were rough to play on an energy shield base, like on a Twilight Regalia, because it has so much intelligence requirement and you needed 4 off colors, or maybe even 5 sometimes, and now you don't. You can just use it. Same with some of the evasion bases. Now, they did do something with colors though, because the colors now signify if there is a gem that fits the color and you put it in that socket, the colored socket, you get 10% quality on that gem. And that also opens up a lot of opportunities, right? Now, to be clear, in the Q&A, they did say that Diala's, the chest got nerfed to 20% quality per gem. So the total maximum, if you were using Diala's, will not go up. But then again, who the hell wants to use this? And I also want to mention this because Ashes of the Stars got ultra buffed by this change. A lot of times there are gems that have certain breakpoints whenever you get a mod, like a 10 quality or 20 quality, right? And those that had 20 quality breakpoints, just using Ashes alone with the 10% quality from that socketed gem now gets you from 30 to 40, which sometimes before it was annoying to get the last 10%. And a lot of builds just do not want to use Diala's at all because giving up your chest armor is kind of crazy. So bear that in mind. Also bear in mind that this works on support gems. You can give 10% quality to support gems, and that's a lot harder to do usually. So that can be build defining. I haven't thought about all the options yet, but I'm just, for example, thinking about stuff like less duration. This also has another effect. Chromatic orbs were completely worthless. And there's a lot of issues in PoE 1 with completely worthless currencies. There's, in endgame, at a certain point, not even that many currencies that you want to pick up anymore, and it can feel empty depending on what you're farming. Chromatic orbs are not a lot rarer, and they actually do something impactful, so their price will go up, and you will probably want to actually click on them, which is a nice change as well. Attribute requirements, by the way, do still work. So if you're applying chromatic orbs to get at least one color, by the way, chromatic orbs give you at least one colored item, but it can give you more color sockets. The attribute requirement still works. So if it's an int base, it will still rather roll blue sockets than others. Probably the craziest change that comes out of this, though, is how easy it's going to be to get a 6-link in early game, because corrupted 6-links still do exist, right? And it used to be an absolute pain, especially when you had colors that everybody wanted to get a corrupted 6-link. But now, I mean, are you gonna get your 6-link for like 20C? I don't know. Maybe the prices are gonna adjust. Maybe they adjust some of these drops, but it sounds pretty darn crazy. I also wanna see what they do to uniques like Skin of the Lords. And honestly, from what they said in the Q&A, I don't think they're gonna change it. So that means Skin of the Lords is now, and Skin of the Loyal, by the way, is now incredibly strong. So especially for spellcasters, look out for those this patch. But yeah, overall, looking at this reveal, I am completely baffled by this change. It's just very gutsy, you know? I like when they do gutsy stuff. And this is one of those changes that I think cannot be bad. So I don't really want to even debate like maybe the possible downsides, because I can't even think of any off the top of my head. It's just a good change. And it's the kind of change where a lot of people will go like, yeah, wait, why not do that earlier? Great change overall. Huge reveal. I'll look at everything today over on twitch.tv/Palsteron. I will not be playing too much Torchlight this time around because PoE1, the overlap, it's just kind of unfortunate. I'll play it, stream it a little bit, but I won't be making a guide. So more PoE1 videos to come, and since I still don't have a slogan, see you next time.